Hello, everybody. Good morning, and we're going live. This is Derry from Honeycomb Consulting Skills Training, and I have the great pleasure today of being joined by one of our most experienced trainers, James Anderson. Good morning, James. How are you doing?
Good morning, Derry. It's nice to be here.
Good to have you on. We are live for 5, so this is a quick fire discussion that James and I have been having a little bit about this question below. Hopefully you can see that. Does AI mean it's time to rewrite the trust equation? Now, the trust equation is something that we talk about an awful lot. And a few weeks ago, I posted an updated post-AI version of the trust equation that I've been thinking about. And James may not agree with me on how we've reframed this. So we thought we'd have that discussion and see what you guys think as well. So we're just going to be on for 5 minutes while we cover that off. So these are the two versions of the trust equation. So the top one, most of you will be familiar with this. This comes from the phenomenal book, The Trusted Advisor, that's been in the professional services space for 20 plus years now, written by David Meister. And that in there, they make this statement that trustworthiness is a function of credibility plus reliability plus emotional intimacy, all divided by self-orientation. And this is something that we've talked about a lot in our training programs. It really helps people understand their strengths and weaknesses in the different areas of building trust. But as I've been thinking about this and looking at this, and particularly thinking about the impact that AI is having on consulting relationships and how we can build these different elements of it, I started thinking, do you know what? We need to bring this trust equation up into 2025 and beyond, and think about what it means to build trust as a human in this post-AI world. And as I kind of formulated that, I came up with this post-AI trust equation below. So in that, I'd say trustworthiness is a function of your expertise plus the impact you can deliver plus your humanity, all multiplied by the level of vulnerability that you're able to present with. And the reason I say expertise is the research increasingly shows that consulting buyers care most about whether or not you are an expert in their particular domain and their particular problem. I say impact because consulting buyers care more and more these days about whether you can deliver results, not just write a nice report. And the humanity is just the critical differentiator against AI. And all of that multiplied by vulnerability, because what we see all the time in our training is the moment that someone is able to be brave enough to drop into a bit of vulnerability, the trust that they get from the people in the room just amplifies. I see it as a super factor. So that's my 2-minute intro to the post-AI trust equation. Now, James, when you saw this, what were your reactions and thoughts to it?
Well, my initial reaction was to call the consulting thought police and have you rounded up and re-educated. It's such a kind of central part of how we work as consultants and how we think. But I think you're quite right to challenge it. And I think AI, it poses us all sorts of questions about how we operate as consultants. So I really, applaud the kind of effort with this. I think I'm a bit more of a traditionalist on this. It's interesting to reflect. You said it's been around for more than 20 years, the trust equation. It was actually published, I think, in 2001. So just after the dot-com crash. And developed during the period of the dot-com boom. And I'm old enough to remember what it was like consulting then. And frankly, most people didn't know what was going on. It was so difficult to establish credibility that actually this broader view around reliability, intimacy, and self-orientation made real sense. And I actually think there's a lot of parallels with where we are now. But it was just two bits of the trust equation I wanted to defend in particular. So this idea of intimacy, I'm a coach as well, so I have skin in the game for this. But I think there's a real problem with intimacy and AI. It can pretend to be empathetic. It can tell you, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It does that quite a lot. But actually, it can't. We have to remind ourselves it can't be sorry for us, just as it can't fall in love or have a midlife crisis. There's actually something I think even slightly dishonest about that, the way in which it expresses human emotions when it hasn't got them. So maybe we can weave that into your concept of humanity, but I'd really be worried about losing that. And then
I fully agree with that. And for me, that does sit as part of humanity. And really, what I'm doing with humanity is just adding the physicality around that.
Yeah,
like being in the room, shaking hands, kissing on the cheek, giving someone a hug, like just being in person together. That obviously AI can't replicate. But I totally hear you on the AI is faking it, and we need to remember that.
Yeah. Okay, I think maybe we're not so far apart on that. And the other thing is self-orientation. And I think it's easy for us to think, well, AI is impartial. It just kind of sifts all the information. I think there's real risks there. I've been particularly interested, actually. So Elon Musk has launched Grokipedia now, which is the kind of AI-enabled competitor to Wikipedia. But the way he's talking about it is basically saying it's good because it's not woke. And now we're into the kind of political agendas of AI platforms. We're into the culture wars. I think it's going to be impossible for us to truly find an AI system that doesn't reflect the particular agendas of its creators. So I think we probably need to think about self-orientation quite a lot as well.
Yeah, and I do think that's a really valid point. And I've had clients mention to me as well, I really don't want to lose that self-orientation piece. And I when I first put this together, I was thinking like that is a subset of vulnerability, but I'm not sure that's right. So I do think I need to go away and think a little bit about how we don't lose that. In the original trust equation is very explicitly the most important factor because it divides everything else. And if a consultant has really high self-orientation, then they're just going to destroy trust very quickly. The whole land and expand mindset that people talk about destroys trust pretty quickly. So I totally agree with that, and I'm gonna have a little think about how to weave that in without overcomplicating. We don't want to turn the trust equation into some complex mathematical formula. Part of the beauty of it is its simplicity. But that's all. So actually, we've just got a comment I've just noticed from Parbej. So thank you very much for the comment, Parbej. Appreciate that. Someone can't check your impact before you've done it. I agree they can't check the impact with you. I do think that the proof points, testimonials, case studies, etc., that give them confidence that you will deliver impact is a really important part. And so you've got trust on the way in, and then you've got trust over time. So you can be trustworthy at the point you're trying to sell something, but really as consultants, in my view, we want to be building trust over the length of our relationship with somebody, and that requires us to be delivering impact into the business. That's how I see it. I would love to see the alternative Capgemini trust equation as well. If you're happy to share that, that'd be great to see. All right, I think that's all we've got time for. Just wanted to plant a little seed there. What do you guys think about the old trust equation? How that needs to shift? Are you happy that it is fit for purpose today? Would love to hear more in the comments below, or drop us a line. In the top corner here, if I just drop the graphic off a sec, in the top corner up here, there's a QR code. That just takes you through to signing up to all of the content that we produce at Honeycomb Consulting Skills Training. Our purpose here is to help consulting team leaders develop exceptional teams, and we publish regular newsletters, webinars, LinkedIn posts, etc. You can access it all through that QR code. So please do sign up, and we would love to be in touch with you. James, thank you very much for joining me on Live for 5 near a 10 today. In such an interesting topic, we could talk for a long time on this. But thank you all, and we'll speak soon.
Bye.